Here we are.
Okay, ready. We're coming up. Hey, and go.
Hey, welcome everybody. LA School of Comedy. The best place on the west side, the east side, the south side, and the north side for you to come and do open mics. Because this is a safe place. As pointed out by the inestimable Lee Shorts, this place has had all kinds of people. All right? Anyhow, you know who I am, America's sweetheart, Mark Saffron. All right? Yeah. And here's, you know, I'm going to be the MC, so I'm not going to do a lot of material, and certainly not in between. Why is it that this Sydney Sweeney story has wings? I expected it to last 2 days. It's lasting as long as the length of her nipples. It's unbelievable. All right? This is a proof positive that America loves boobs. It's simple. We love them. It has to be. American men love boobs. Never understood why all those American men were importing Chinese wives. All right? They weren't getting boobs out of them. All right? Take that, you know, well, maybe now, since they've been here drinking. You ever notice the difference between a girl who comes just from China and a girl who was born here? Boobs. They don't drink milk in China. It's the milk that does it. It makes people strong. When your diet has a lot to do with how you look and everything else. So I was reading some moron who says who I won't say his name because he may be related to somebody I know, says that he's been doing this study of mental health, basically brain health, in two places where you wouldn't expect. All right, Uganda and Ghana. And he makes no conclusions about it. I still haven't found out whether people in Uganda have better mental health. But I have learned one thing about Uganda: there's not as much food. There's no question about it. Not as much. And look at Mamdani. He practices starvation. You know, well, you can't trust anybody that skinny. It's as simple as that. No, you see, you can't. People who are that skinny are mentally disturbed. There's no question about it. A man that skinny is with no muscles, by the way. I don't think this guy's ever been in the gym. You know? Yeah, take my word for it. He's never, ever worked out, played. You never hear anything about, oh, Mondavi loves basketball. No, you hear Mondavi hates Jews. You never hear Mondavi loves football. I bet you he would vomit at a football game. Oh, my God, this is so American. Why should we have to watch? Because you're in fucking America, you asshole. Oh, boy.
Here we go.
Here we go. Anyhow, back to it. Can you imagine him at a hockey game? I mean, come on. There is nothing less American than hockey and more Canadian, and he still wouldn't like it. It's the whole idea of the physical contact, all right? But, you know, this guy said that Ugandans had, you know, better mental health. What I love the best is having your wedding with armed guards. You're going to defund the police in New York, but you're going to live in a gated community with armed special service troopers who, by the way, wear masks. I love hypocrisy. It's great. But, you know, it's a fascinating thing. All politicians are hypocrites. So I actually saw something extraordinarily funny about Colbert. Is that his name, Colbert? I never liked the show. And it was by Joe Rogan had a couple of good points. He said, Colbert was never a stand-up comic. What he was a great satirist. But when he was a satirist on the Jon Stewart show, as I remember, he played a stuffy Republican asshole, satirizing everybody. He was an equal opportunity satirist. But here's the thing. Do you know what every comic's dream was in that year, in that period of time? The first dream was you'd get a deal. They would all go, we're going to get a deal. We're going to get a development deal. Then they would get sitcoms. Most of them failed. But the greatest dream of any stand-up comic was getting late-night talk show. Because that meant you made it. You have your own show. You have made millions of dollars and never have to eat McDonald's again. Because what do you think stand-up comics eat on the road? And it ain't groupies. It's... No, I mean, there are chuckle fuckers out there. Lots of them. No, the bottom line is they eat McDonald's and all kinds of crap. And they drink because the booze is free. So they end up kind of dissolute. Okay, so here's Colbert. They just give him this show. All of a sudden, you can't satirize anybody anymore. You got to buy into it. You're now scripted. You got to take one position or another. You're no longer a stand-up comic. All right? You're reading from a script. This man had 100 writers. Even Chris Rock don't have that many. And he has never written a line himself. Take my word for it. Anyhow, I can't. The Sydney Sweeney thing is really getting to me. I mean, so somebody's complaining, well, why don't they have a black woman? I'm waiting too. I want to see Beyonce's boobs. Jay-Z may not like it, but I'd like to see her do it. And I'd like to see Tyra Banks and Naomi Campbell do it. I just saw it was Tyra when I can't remember which one it was. Right? She looked fine for a woman of God knows whatever age she is. Well, everybody should do those commercials. They all got good genes. They got something from somewhere. It isn't Nazism. Take my word for it. I don't get it anymore. Anyhow, since I'm not funny, I'm going to bring up somebody who is. Now, coming to the stage is Eric Sena. If I pronounced that wrong, correct me.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all feeling good?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Feeling great, man. Euphoric. Straight jovial. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Because I was at an open mic the other week, and I was grabbing drinks at the bar right before my set. And I got hit on by an older, drunk white lady. And I was stoked, man. Never been hit on by an older white woman before. It was very exciting. I know my ancestors were smiling down just like, you did it, you son of a bitch, you know? But the weirdest part about this interaction is when she tried to read me, like my auras and chakras and shit. Like she wanted to open my third leg, you know? And I don't know if this is like a party trick or something she does all the time to like get in dude's pants, but I was like, all right, I'll let her rock, you know? Let's see what you could do. So she squeezes my arm, my hand mad tight and is like, all right, Eric, I'm feeling like maybe, potentially, possibly something happened in your mom's life. Is that accurate? And I had to think about it for a second, and I was like, God damn, Margaret, you're one perceptive individual. Yeah, like things have transpired in my mom's lifetime at one point or another. You're really good at this. What else you got? You know, keep it going. And then she's like, all right, now I'm sensing like perhaps you grew up a little antisocial. Like you're used to staring out of windows despondently, which was a very specific reading. And wow, didn't realize we had a real fucking Miss Cleo over here, you know? Didn't realize I was in the presence of a world-class psychic medium. And the funny part about this is like this wasn't even the first time this has happened. Like when I was with my ex, she was also tapped in with a psychic. And she gave her a photo of me and was like, all right, based on this photo, what can you gather about my boyfriend, you know? And I swear to God, the psychic takes one look at the photo and is like, all right, off the bat, I could tell your boyfriend is the kind of guy who looks down at the ground when he walks. And yeah, no shit, Sherlock, it's called social anxiety, you know? Like, also, we live in LA, and every day is just ducking and dodging shit and piss on every sidewalk, so it's kind of a minefield out here, you know? Thank you, Madame Obvious. But I get it. I'm under no illusion. You know, I know what I am. I know a very liberal arts degree look to me. I get it. Sorry about that. Anyway, as I was saying, I have a very liberal arts degree look to me. I get it. But here's the thing. I was born this way. You know, I can't help it. Because Asians, we don't get into liberal arts, though, is the thing. You know, we get into STEM fields and become doctors, engineers. And my mom, she wanted me to become a lawyer. But I was like, Mom, I don't want to be a lawyer. I don't want to get paid to lie to people. So I got into stand-up comedy. And now I lie to people for free at open mic. So, in your face, Mom. The joke's on me, I guess. Really sticking it to her, you know? But no, I really did. I really did end up pursuing liberal arts. I went to a nationally ranked university. No claps for that. That's cool. One clap. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it was a nationally ranked university. It was ranked the #1 party school by Playboy magazine. So, hell yeah, yeah. Kind of a reputable publication for that sort of thing, I think. Yeah. I got a BA in journalism from San Diego State. But yeah, thank you. Yeah. Shout out San Diego State. But getting a journalism degree from a state school is almost the equivalent of getting oatmeal at McDonald's. Like, not only are you eating at McDonald's, you're also ordering the worst thing on the menu, you know? Like, congratulations, you're perfectly mediocre. You're destined for impressively average things. So I get it. You know, very liberal arts coded, and, like, this tends to come up a lot in conversations with homies about, like, movies and TV shows and music and things like that. And, like, to be honest, I don't watch a lot of TV. So, like, the Sydney Sweeney thing, I'm like, who's Sydney Sweeney? Like, who's that? But, For some reason, people always recommend Seinfeld to me. I don't like that. That doesn't feel good. It's quite insulting, actually. Because, again, I don't watch a lot of TV. I haven't seen Seinfeld. But, like, from what I can gather, a struggling comedian with mild autism, like, no thanks. I have enough of that in my life, If I want to watch that, I could just look in a mirror for 30 minutes and sort of get the same effect. Also, I really love rap music. And, like, a girl in college knew I loved rap music. So she recommended Hamilton. Like, what the fuck, right? And I was so offended, and all I could say to her was, how dare you? I'm actually more of a Les Mis guy myself, right? So get out of here with that. I had someone tell me recently that I have tote bag energy. But the worst part about that is, like, they weren't exactly wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I do have an extensive tote bag collection of various sizes and colors for many different occasions. But the thing about being a straight man in LA with a tote bag is, like, can't really rock a tote bag but also look tough at the same time, Like, it's impossible. I've tried, trust me. Like, for example, if I were to don a ski mask and walk menacingly toward an old lady late at night, but I had a tote bag on, yeah, she wouldn't be threatened at all, you know what I mean? In fact, she'd probably try to rob me, right? Like, give me all your fucking money and all those Trader Joe's cookie butter cookies. And I would just be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I don't carry cards or cash in my wallet. I use Apple Pay. But feel free to take my Barnes & Noble membership. And she would just execute me on the spot. Just like blow my brains out, right? Because like I said, I get it. I know what I look like. And as you can tell, I'm not a street guy. Not about that life. I don't want that smoke. I don't have the stomach for it, Because I grew up in the suburbs. I grew up in a small little town in San Diego. And in this town, there are guys who try to be street guys, Asian dudes much like myself, and they join these gangs. But the thing about these gangs is they have the softest names imaginable, There's almost a little branding problem going on here, I think. Like, one of the gangs in particular in my town is called the Thugged Out Youngsters. Exactly. Like, youngsters? Pretty sure it's the name of a street gang from Leave It to Beaver. Like, their initials are literally toy, right? Like, what are we talking about here? Yeah, I remember the show Gangland on the History Channel. Any gang stands here? Yeah? Could you imagine their Gangland episode? Like, these are the thugged out youngsters, and these are their rivals, the gosh darn mischievous hooligans. Just like a terrible name, Also been really workshopping my Goofy impression, so I appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Another one of the gangs in my town is called the Tiny Oriental Boys. Yeah, exactly. Fucking yikes, right? Like, first off, it's kind of fucking racist. But secondly, if the name of your gang sounds like the name of a gay porno from the 1960s, I think there's a bit of a problem, Just a teeny tiny one. I remember that the street that these guys used to kick it at was called Pendleton. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think any dirt is happening on a street called Pendleton, Like, no one's shooting dice on Pendleton. Unless it's a 20-sided dice and you're playing Dungeons & Dragons, in which case, critical hit, Like, no one's actually getting jumped into these gangs, right? I think it's more of a support group situation. Like a 12-crip program, if you will, Look, all I'm saying is, if you live 5 miles from the nearest beach, you probably shouldn't be gangbanging. I think that's reasonable, right? And here's the thing about my town, is like, we have no business having gangs. We're simply not hood enough. And I know we're not hood enough because we have 0 corner stores, not 1 corner store in sight, just 1 big-ass Bevmo. And if you don't know what Bevmo is short for Bevmo Money Mo Gated Communities. So that's the kind of town I'm from. Just hella Asians dropping the N-word left and right, Not a single lowrider in my town. Not one. Just mad Toyota Corollas. And like I said, I'm not a street guy, and I know I'm not a street guy because I'm a driver of said Toyota Corolla, Yeah. Drive a 2010 Toyota Corolla, completely stock, manual locks, manual windows, manual everything. The works, Not ashamed. But hypothetically, if I were to, I don't know, do a drive-by in this Corolla, probably look something like this. Pull up the e-brake, crank the windows down furiously because I have manual windows, and probably pull out a Revolutionary War era musket because I'm such a huge history buff, and just fire and reload 1 shot at a time for 30 minutes. Would just be the most inefficient drive-by of all time, Actually more like a standby, if I'm being honest. And as I'm leaving, I just stick my head out the window and yell out, "Tote bag boys, motherfucker!" and just peel out at a very reasonable speed. That's my time, y'all. Keep it going. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was good. Yeah. But you know, we do know what the teeny tiny refers to, right? No offense, but you know, that's not racist. That's just an observation. All right. So today, for the first time, I saw Cynthia Erivo. You remember who she is from Wicked? Great voice. All right. She was playing Jesus Christ at the Hollywood Bowl this weekend as a female Jesus Christ in Jesus Christ Superstar. Not much you can say about it. People can play whatever they want. All right. It's proof positive that you just can't pick people for roles in Hollywood based upon any sort of marker. They're actors, right? But she should be glad it wasn't directed by Mel Gibson, because Jim Caviezel really got his ass whooped in The Passion of the Christ, and Mel Gibson insisted upon authenticity. I could just see Cynthia's the whip hits her back, and she said, "I'm not interested in them." Anyhow, listen. Everything can't be perfect, right? So I just was reading about a female congresswoman from Guatemala who is down at the Pan American Conference saying she's a proud Guatemalan before she's a proud American. I'm thinking to myself, maybe you shouldn't be in Congress. With the rest of them that went down there with the same message. What is this messaging? You come here, you assimilate. All right? You melt into the melting pot. You eat hot dogs. You watch football. You play video games. You're American, right? You don't go around saying, I'd rather be back in Uganda. No. The only one who wants to be back in Uganda is Mamdani. He has a nice house there. He lives in a shithole in New York. You know? A little friggin' apartment. Though I doubt that, it's a real marriage. I have my doubts about him. All right. Anyhow. So, isn't anybody think it's funny that Huma Abedin is married to George Soros' son? With all the new stuff coming out, I realize why they got married. Spousal privilege. Neither one of them can testify against each other because they're all getting subpoenaed right now. It's crazy what's going on. It's like dogs eating each other. It's like a circular firing squad, this country. Everybody wants to go point the finger and shoot each other. And I realize why. So here I am today. We're having a problem collecting a bill from a client. And we're doing a litigation for him. And he owes us 6 figures. And I'm on a conference call with the named partner and the litigators. And they're giving me a hard time. And I'm saying to myself, why are you creating a controversy? And I realize why. Because the Gen Z litigator, the female, had to have a fight. She wasn't happy without having a fight and going, point the finger. They have to learn one lesson in this country. Stop fixing the blame. Fix the problem. And that's what's the problem in the United States today. Nobody wants to fix the problem. And anybody who tries to fix the problem becomes a Nazi or a racist or something else because they don't agree with them. All right? I don't agree with everybody either. Despite the fact that I know I'm right, I don't want to impose my beliefs on people. I prefer to manipulate them. All right? It's easier manipulating them, right? All right. Talking about manipulation, people from foreign countries, we bring up today that great paragon of comedy, Lee Shorts. Who wears short shorts? Do-do-do-do-do-do. We wear short shorts.
I gotta stop wearing shorts. Yeah.
You look like an older man.
I don't know, but maybe it's time. No more shorts. I don't know, but I have to always ask my girlfriend what I'm supposed to wear. So she dresses me each day. I don't know what I do without her. I mean, I come out in pajamas, pretty much. I'll try not to get too off track here, but I was just thinking about gangs, and there's a gang map. Have you heard of this? You can see where all the gangs are. And I was reading about, for dates, this guy looked up, a neutral gang area. And I thought to myself, you shouldn't wear certain colors. And so he felt safe because, made sure she wore this, not that. I thought about me and my girlfriend. I'd make sure she wears the wrong colors. Yep. But I'll try not to, But we're at the point where in a relationship, the weird stuff comes out, the bad habits and everything, and they can't be contained anymore. and went to a bagel place. And I never heard this before in all 2 years of being with her. She ordered a bagel with honey walnut cream cheese and smoked salmon, lightly toasted. Never, ever did she do this before. And all this time, she didn't tell me. This was one of her favorite bagel sandwiches. I was, blindsided, really. And I'm not saying it's a deal breaker, but it's close. I mean, it's close. And we're going to have to reevaluate things. And yeah, mine, I admit mine too. And I really like girlfriend's elbows a lot, and and that's not too bad. I mean, it could be worse. I mean, sniff toes, suck toes, toe stuff, eat stuff. But she's got me. She's got me, though. All right. But, she said, though, recently, which is shocking, but everything comes out now. So she said, I was really happier when I wasn't with you before. And I said, that's hard to take. That's hard to take. I'm glad you're being honest now after 2 years. And I said, I had a rough childhood. Give me a break. It was even hard to make imaginary friends, actually. I had trouble with that even. And go easy on me. Go easy on me. My mom used to lock me in a closet if I was bad, and then lock me in a basement. So one time, she put me in the basement with my dog. I don't know why she did that. I'll never know. Probably the dog suffered because of my transgression or something like that. But anyway, she lets me out, and I say, why? Why'd you do that? Why'd you lock me in? And she said, well, the closet was full. Sorry. Yeah, and she sat me down one time after my parents got divorced, and she said, I know certain kids blame themselves for the divorce. And she said, I want you to know, it wasn't you. It was you and your brother. I thought, oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense, I guess. And then at night, right, they take me and want me to go to sleep, of course. I said, why? Why do I have to go to sleep? And both my mom and dad would say, we need a break. We need a break from you. And my girlfriend, she says that I smell like Doritos and I don't even eat Doritos. And then she's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. And I said, okay. Fritos. You smell like Fritos. And I said, okay, all right, I won't eat at all from now on. So I don't smell in any way. Sorry. But I don't know. It's tough being me. I deal with it all the time. And I try to say, go easy on me. I'm just me being me, okay? And as I said, I wouldn't wish it on anybody. And I'm convinced there's certain things that only happen to me. I really do. And she told me, take the plug out, unplug it. Okay. Now this is always tough. So I did it, and it was stuck. So I went, and it yanked back. I fell back, and there happens to be a ladder there. I don't know why there's a ladder there. Terrible place. And it goes back and falls right upon her jewelry box. Knocks everything over. And I have this knack of breaking her things unintentionally, of course, I think. But, and then just pisses her off even more. And she just doesn't let up really sometimes. But, I deal with it. I deal with it all the time. And she says, like she doesn't understand things like what I do. Okay. And I try to explain it to her, and she still doesn't understand it. And she says, just face it. Okay. You have something called dumb smart. You're dumb smart. And I said, I don't know what that means. And she's like, exactly. My point. But that hurt. That hurt. That did hurt. And, and then she explained a little bit more. Okay, it's like you come up with really good words, but you're not sure how to use them quite right or pronounce them right. But she said, I give you credit for coming up with the word. So I'll take what I can get. And it's hard to scratch it all up and scrape it together so I don't, but, I'll make it barely. But so she said also, she's like, let me clarify even more. Okay. And something else. Okay. When I said before that I felt happier without you. Okay. I know you didn't understand that. And here, I'll give you a mathematical expression to understand. Okay. 2 minus 1 equals fun for me. You get that? And I said, okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you. I'll just bury my head. Go over. Sometimes I go to the dog and hope that I look, sometimes, I look at the dog looks at me, and he's like, looks at like, I'm not an emotional support dog. I'm not. But I can give you a number, though. I know a Cocker Spaniel, he handles these types of things. But, I don't know if, try it. He might be able to help you, but I don't know. He kind of looks at me like, I don't know if you'll ever make it. Probably someone's going to go, me or her, and it'll probably be me. And so, I mean, I read all that 500, 1,000 calories you burn for sex every day. Okay. And not every day, if you have sex every day. But, okay. But me, it's more, I was thinking about this, way different for me and my girlfriend. It's more like, for the attempt, it's like 5 calories. For like denied and try to validate whether she really does have a headache or not, say about 30 calories. Then being sent to the couch because I didn't listen to her feelings about how she felt, that's about 50 calories. So nowhere near 500, and nor will I probably ever get 500. Not with my girlfriend. I know she is. But I deal with it every day. But she, recently she said, go get a haircut. And I said, okay, I'll go get a haircut. Yes, of course. And I go there and sit down in the chair. And first thing I hear, I've never heard this before. Lady said, can I borrow your finger because I need to do a straight line. I forgot my glasses. And I said, what? How many? You got to remember your glasses if you're going to cut hair. And this is, of course, a horrible haircut. And I tried to warn a guy that was coming in, don't go in. But I couldn't think of a way to do this. Give up, turn back, get another. It's like, sorry. I mean, his fate was sealed. But I thank you all for listening. I really appreciate it.
By the way, when we first came in today, that there's a surefire method of getting rid of his girlfriend. Just call ICE. You may not like it, but you know what? He can't make up his mind. This way he doesn't have to worry about it. One quick phone call. Nobody else had to get, because here's the thing. This man was actually thinking of getting married, and I said to him, so you want to trade all this in for a lifetime of abuse? I mean, just give the address, man. We'll make your problem disappear. We'll even get you a new girlfriend. He found, but the funny thing is you know where Lee found his girlfriend? On Grindr. She had to find somebody to abuse. It was horrible. AbuseKids.com, my eye. It was some weird dating app. Anyhow, we're going to bring up a very, very funny man. Mr. Billy Ramirez.
All right, I did my set at the haha yesterday. Thanks for coming, Aaron.
Yeah.
So now I'm just gonna try some other shit. All right, is anyone else here getting older? Is it just me? Let's see. So I'm not married. I don't have kids. So like time doesn't move the same for me. Like the milestone. Like I don't have graduations and birthdays for milestones. Like I use video games. Like the newest Mario Kart is out. And GTA 6 is going to come out next year, and like the way those are coming out, I only have like 2, maybe 3 left, because those come out like every 13 years. But I am getting older, and I'm starting to see signs of it. Like, for example, I'm starting to get white hairs everywhere, and then also I'm not as airtight as I used to be. Like, for example, if anyone here wants to offer me a toke after the show or whatever, the reason I'm going to pass up is not because, I'm just not in the mood for it. Just because now when I cough, sometimes I fart. I get the toke toots. And then actually, like, worse than that is sometimes when I sneeze, I fart. And that's not very pleasant. It always feels like I just blew out my O-ring, when you're losing air from both directions at the same time, it feels like I'm about to implode like that Ocean Gate submarine, anyways. Let's see. But another sign that I'm getting older is I'm getting quite comfortable with all my hypocrisies. I'm fine with being a hypocrite about some things. Like, for example, I am anti-war, but pro-CTE. Like the traumatic brain injury that athletes get. Like, all right, I'm not entirely anti-war. I'd be pro-war if billionaires went. If billionaires and the rich went to war, I would have season tickets to war. I would have the all-war channel package, and I would stay up late watching war highlights on War Center. And they're like, oh my God, is he gonna go to war in that homemade, handmade carbon fiber tank? That's not going to go well. Clearly, I just watched that Ocean Gate documentary. But regarding CTE, like I don't necessarily want people to get hurt, but people willingly sign up to get CTE. I'm more than happy to watch. Like, it's the reason why I've watched. I love Jackass, that whole entire franchise, and now I am not ashamed to admit that I love watching Power Slap. I love watching Power Slap, and I feel no qualms about it because just if 2 people want to sign up to just slap each other in the face, let's go ahead and do it. And also, like Power Slap just cracks me up because it's the way it works is you just stand there and let someone slap you in the face. And then if you manage to survive, then you get to slap them in the face. And if you win, you got slapped up to 5 times. And then there's also like they're trying to make it seem like there's organized and then there's some order to it. But like you can't defend yourself. It cracks me up. You have to just stand there holding this like rod behind your back and get slapped in the face. But I think funnier than that, watching people get slapped in the face and then they stumble over, is the referees. They have referees there, just to count. Like if someone gets slapped and they get knocked down, they'll just count. Someone's convulsing. It's like, look, if you don't stop convulsing and get up, I'm gonna have to stop this match. So you gotta get up. And then sometimes, the person gets up and starts stumbling around, like they just took full advantage of bottomless mimosas at brunch, and then they just do the, I don't know if Ric Flair, when he gets slapped, he'll take 3 steps and just immediately keel over. Like that's I know people are suffering traumatic brain injuries, but they signed up for it, and it's funny to me. But let's see. Like I figure if you sign papers that say like I'm agreeing to get slapped in the face repeatedly, like you have no right to complain. Like I don't want to hear you say like, oh, my face hurts and and I can't see properly. Like, well, you just signed papers. But anyways, and then some people say like it's Power Slap signals a collapse of society. I completely disagree. I think it signals the advancement of society because now we're just letting people be free. to get slapped in the face. And then I think power slap also might open up to other things like, like power shovel to the back of the head, like power kick you down the stairs, maybe something like power piñata, which I'm looking forward to because if people are willingly signing up to do something so stupid, they're probably not going to mind getting, candy shoved up their old prison wallets, so anyways, but prison wallet. Okay, I worked in prison wallet. That was nice. All right, let's see what I'm, okay, that one. So, like I mentioned, I'm not married. I'm, single, and the reason I'm single is because it's just dating is exhausting, and my antisocial side, like, it takes over more often than not. I think it's just, when I were here, like when just if she talks too much or just hasn't heard of the bands I like or something like that. Like I'd rather just go home and just be by myself, but I have no reason to be picky. I ain't nothing, but every now and then I just have these stupid reasons for not continuing to date someone. Like not too long ago, I stopped seeing this woman because of who her favorite Ninja Turtle is. Yeah, it's like I didn't know. I didn't know I could be repulsed by a woman who not only knows the Ninja Turtles, but also appreciates the Ninja Turtles. And, as growing up as an 80s and 90s kid, like I love the Ninja Turtles. They taught me everything I need to know about life. Like, pizza solves everything. Violence is acceptable as long as you're wearing a headband. And giant rats make good parental figures. But anyways, we got to the point we was talking, and then somehow she mentioned the Ninja Turtles. I had to ask, who's your favorite Ninja Turtle? And she said her favorite Ninja Turtle was Donatello. If you're not familiar with Donatello, first of all, there's 3 other Ninja Turtles. There's Leonardo, who's got these 2 big giant swords, like big shiny swords. You can just stab someone and cut them up. And then there's Raphael, who's got these 2 like sharp forks. You could stab someone. And then there's Michelangelo with the classic nunchucks. Everyone's done nunchucks with like a gift wrapping paper roll that just folds in the middle. You do all that, right? But then she said Donatello, the one with the stick. The one whose weapon you use just to basically kick raccoons out of the garbage. So like, yeah, whenever like Ninja Turtles have to get in a fight, like it was Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, they're all kicking ass, and Donatello's over there, just like waving a stupid baton like he's the JV color guard. It's like, competitive baton twirling. Like, that's great. That's very intimidating, Donatello. But I don't know. That might have been a little too picky. But I don't know. Maybe she was just trying to signal to me something. Like maybe she was just trying to tell me that she likes guys with a big old rod. But in any case, it was not going to work out. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, this one's stupid. So, has anyone here played those Super Mario games, Super Mario Brothers and all that? But, when you step on a Koopa and then it turns into a shell and then you just tap the shell and it goes shooting across the floor, you know why that is? Turtle wax. All right, I'm keeping it. That was stupid. This one's kind of stupid, too. All right, here we go. We'll close on this one. It's taken a while, but I feel comfortable being a comedian, being on stage by myself, because I've been a drummer far longer than I've been a comedian. And I just loved always, just being tucked back there in my own little drumming nook behind, other band members, their instruments, amps, cymbals, drums. And I just back there in my own cozy little nook. And so like for a while, stand-up comedy felt like showing up to a music gig and like the rest of the band didn't show up. And somehow I lost my drums on the way. It's like, is it up to me to entertain everyone? Like, you want me to do all the music? Like, I can do some trumpet sounds with my mouth, Speaking of trumpet sounds, every now and then I like to listen to classic jazz and like Miles Davis. And whenever I do that, I just inevitably start thinking about how angry all those jazz musicians were. Like, if you go back and read, they're all angry bastards. Miles Davis was angry. Buddy Rich, the drummer, was angry. Charles Mingus punched everyone. He's the bassist. But it always cracks me up, like this dichotomy between jazz and then just being angry. So I would love, if I had a time machine, I wouldn't go back and, I'm going to kill so-and-so or fix this. I would go to New York City to one of those jazz clubs just to see one of these jazz cats just lose it. Just imagine, like, Okay, this next song is called My Beautiful Love. Okay, ready? 2, 3, 4. Doom, 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 doom. Stop. Jones, God damn it, you come in late one more time. I'm going to drag you in front of everyone and stop on you until you die, okay? If you think I'm playing, just try me. 2, 3, 4. Doom, 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 doom. Anyways, that's my little jazz joke. My name is Billy Ramirez. You can find me at BillyRamirez.com and on Instagram and TikTok at Middle Aged Muchacho. Please welcome back to the stage, America's sweetheart, Mark Zaffron.
Yeah, Billy Ramirez. Yeah, what Billy don't realize is the cutting edge thing about jazz was heroin. Every last one of those guys was doing heroin. You know, when they were all going, do, they were nodding out. That wasn't them getting into the music. But take my word for it. Anyhow, so Billy's talking about Ninja Turtles. I never watched that shit. I mean, I'm too old. I can never understand TV shows like that. So I turned on the TV last night, and there's a show. It's called The Outpost. And I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be cool. You know, it's British. You know, fantasy, sci-fi. Why does it all look like they shot it in the back lot, and it has 1990s? I don't know how to express it. Can't make it funny. How is it that you always think that you're watching a woke version, right, of Ivanhoe? Because the protagonist is a female, all right? She fights better than Michelle Yeoh, which is going some. All right, you know, and jumping around there with her knives and everything, and she supposedly is a black blood. Was she an Indian? No, she's a witch that can control demons. Come on, how formulaic is it? TV has really fallen very, very far down, which is why everybody appreciates the Sydney Sweeney ad. And on that note, we're going to bring up our king of theater, the maestro of teaching you comics, how to actually act and say your lines as written, even though he don't believe in it. Anyhow, here he is, the one, the ineffable, Aaron McIntyre.
Hey, what's up? Hey, who's winning? Okay. I used to be a Christ-beating reformer. You know what that is? No, it's just the beginning of a monologue. I'm not going to do it. Like some, many, most, all of you, I am mentally ill. Because we all are, right? I mean, I often tell people to raise their hands, and nobody does, because nobody wants. I mean, we gotta hang with the mental illness stuff, you know, because I mean it's a huge thing. I'm bipolar. Used to be manic depressive, which I think was a much better description of it. I mean, I think the maniacs, and the depressives, they got pissed off and they were like, "You're appropriating my name," so they had to change it to bipolar. Which really doesn't make sense, because it's not like you live on both poles. But the commute is much worse than bicoastal. But now I just do it every day. You know, instead of 6 months down here and then 6 months up here where we're all one and everything is like, I can feel the molecules in the air and, you know, I'm one with the chair and all that kind of shit too. You know, slumped in a corner with a blanket over my head, you know, wishing I was dead. So yeah, I have thought many times about dying. I'm not afraid of dying. See, that's the thing, is I'm not at all afraid of dying. I'm afraid of disappointing people, you know. So I knew if I did that, I would disappoint people, and so. But I am really afraid of pain. I am the biggest pussy in the world. I have never met somebody who hates pain as much as I do. I don't understand contact sports at all, especially boxing. I mean, why would you go into a ring and stand there and, you know, try to hit each other and get, you know, fucking, you look at their noses and they're all beat up. I wouldn't want that. I watch a action movie and I get fucking bruises, you know? I mean, broken ribs, which, you know, another thing I do want to say about mental illness, you know, the worst thing that you can, if you know anybody who's depressed, maybe you are. But if you know anybody who's depressed, the worst thing that you can tell them is think about all the good things in your life. You've got a great house. You've got a family. You've got a daughter. It's like, I know, and I still feel like shit. And now I feel even fucking worse because of that. Feel guilty, you know? It's not my fault. I didn't do nothing. I think, you know, a lot of it had to do with, we were talking about, somebody was talking about their parents' mom, you know. My mom was the kind of mom that, like, if you did hurt yourself, you know, like you know, maybe you've experienced this where you know, you do something, you fall on your arm or something, you're running and you're like, Mom, I think I broke my arm. And she'd go, can you move it? And she'd, like, move it around. You didn't break your arm. When I was 8, I fell out of a window. I fell out of a second-story window right on my head. Fortunately, there was a doghouse right there, so I fell into the doghouse and broke my fall a little bit. And fortunately, it wasn't one of those Snoopy's one with the point, you know, because then I would be fucking split down the middle. But my mom and dad, we had just moved to this new base. My dad was a commander of a base, and so they were off at a cocktail party, like a welcome to the new base cocktail party. And my sister was watching me, and she was sitting at the dining room table, and she just saw these feet go, you know, drop down in front of the window. She thought, oh, it must be one of the kids next door. And then she came out, and I was walking around petting my dog. So this is how bad it is. She calls my mother at the place. So this is in the olden days. This is back in the 1900s. This is mid-1900s, folks. So we had phones with cords on them and shit. And so she calls them, you know, and has to call the place where they are. And my mom comes to the phone, and my sister says, you know, he just fell out of the window, second-story window on his head. And my mother said to her, well, he better be really hurt. And I fell out of this window, and I blacked out. Like, all I remember is I was standing up against the screen, and I saw like about that much light, and I just completely blacked out. And it felt like I zoomed across the field and turned around, and I was watching myself over and over falling out of this window, you know. And it was just you know, it was a premonition of what was to come, and just me fucking up over and over and over again throughout my life. But so I blacked out, and this is how long my parents took to take me to the hospital. I woke up in a bathtub that was half full, this bloody water, you know, and I'm in mid-scream. So it's like black, and then all of a sudden, and then finally they were like, oh, fuck, I guess we got to take him to the hospital. So they took me to the hospital, 8 stitches. That's all. That's pretty good. Not bad, huh? Got a hard head. And I think that's why I'm bald now, because it just, fucking hair just won't come through. I have a really, some of you may know, you know, you've seen me before. I used to have a beard, but I'm going for the, you know, number 2 pencil look now. You know, just trying to look like a nice little eraser up here. Lots of really prominent bald people. It used to be pretty cool to be bald. You know, I mean, there was Yul Brynner. There was who else, Mark? Who else was big? Telly Savalas with the lollipop. Some of you might not know him. Jean-Luc Picard. No, it wasn't Jean-Luc Picard, because Federation wasn't developed until years later. But yeah, it used to be pretty hot. But not anymore. I am also, I was married for 18 years. I'm no longer married. My parents were married for 73 years. And so I was like, this is a commitment. You get up in front of your friends and family, in front of somebody who is this really freaky kind of Wiccan woman, you know, with roses. Like, oh, you know, it was a really weird thing. But you do that, you've made a commitment. So I honor my commitments. And I was in the marriage, and I was fucking miserable. And I was like, nope, I got to stick with this. I made a commitment. This is my commitment. And then one day my ex-wife came to me and said, I can't take this anymore. And I want a divorce. And I was like, God, thank God. I was so happy. I was so happy. And, I'm never doing that again. I am never doing that. I don't care. But for one thing, I don't think I'm ever going to be with another woman because I'm way too fucking picky for this body. You know, I am way too fucking picky. If I'm going to take off my clothes and somebody's going to be laughing at me, they're going to be hot. You know what I mean? You know, they got to be fucking hot because I can only suffer that humiliation. All of my, I've had many therapists. I've been in therapy for way too many fucking years, and that's you know that has to do with the mental illness, you know, but also you know the early childhood trauma. But they've all been hot. All of my fucking therapists. I will not go. I literally go, you know, it's like when I need a new therapist, I go through the registry and start looking through the pictures and it's like, no, she's too old. No, oh, she's nice looking. Okay, I'll go for her. Which is great because I like, you know, screaming out my problems and weeping in front of really hot women. It's just my thing. You like elbows? I like crying in front of women. That's pretty much my time, so thanks very much. I do have class here Tuesday nights right here at 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard, acting classes. I promise you, you will have a good time, no matter what. Billy can attest to that. He's coming. Yeah, see, he's applauding. And my name is Aaron McIntyre. You can find me at Aaron McIntyre. It's A-E-R-O-N, not A-A-R-O-N, so don't call me fucking A-A-Ron. Because Aaron's supposed to be anonymous. Mark Zaverin's coming on up.
Thanks, Aaron. I tell you something, though. Last comment of the evening. He reminded me at the beginning of his act how mentally ill people now try on new diseases like clothes. If they don't like being bipolar, all of a sudden, we're gender dysmorphic. This week, you know, I'm going to try something else. All you need to do is to go into a shrink and give him a check, basically, and tell him what you want to be that week. It's true, you know. All of a sudden, you see a kid, all of a sudden, oh, you know, I'm anorexic. No, you're mentally ill. All right? But, you know, now this week, I'm gender dysmorphic. I don't know how to pronounce that. You know, and so when you see, you know, a kid wanting to be something else, you think to yourself, why couldn't they just stick with the normal mental illnesses? Psychotic, sociopaths, and bipolar, which is really a mixture of psychotic and sociopaths. All right, I'm sorry I did that right before you come on, Anye. There is no reflection on you. All right, although you are a comic. That all being said, all right. Oh, he also said something that made me think of Lee, but, you know, had to do with the girlfriend switching and everything. Don't get it, Lee. Please don't feel upset. Aaron has the same problems you have. You're not alone. All right, here we go. Our stand-up comedian, closer tonight, Anye.
Hydration. What's good people? How goes it? Welcome in. Closing out the night. That's nice. Aaron decided to cut the beard off, bro. Damn. Yeah, even the water can't believe it, bro. This shit crazy. Shit crazy, bro. I don't know. When I cut, because I used to have longer hair. I grew my hair out for like 2.5 years, and I cut it back short. And my barber was like, "Oh, you cutting everything?" And I considered for like a split second cutting my beard off, but like, nah. I think that's a wild decision, my boy. I can't do that one. I feel like now, like before I didn't see it, but like I don't know if it's just something about bald white man with no beards, but it's giving like Vin Diesel. You feel me? But it's like Vin unleaded. Like you not Diesel, but you close. You close though. Like it ain't Fast and Furious, but it's like slow and serious. You feel me? Like you got that look to you now. Like you feel me? Like good luck. Like he the acting coach. He finna get something right now. That's why he did that. He trying to keep it cool. He got NDA signed probably, but congratulations. I already know. I know how it go. I be in the acting world a little bit. That's fire. Yeah, I've been doing that. I know what I want to get into today, man. I got a show, so every time I got a show coming up, I try to like get up here and like just get used to holding the mic again. Even like it hasn't been like a week, you know. I be taking like a week off. I feel like it's been months, just cause like, yeah, it's just you gotta get your reps. Just doing comedy. What I want to talk about though, life's been life, and y'all like I don't know, y'all like I know everyone who has a job be going to their job and like working their job every day. That's not a life I'm used to living, y'all. Like I can't, like every day, you feel me? Like every week I wake up and I'm just disgusted. Like I have to do a whole week again in that same place. And it's like showing up is not enough, you know? Like at school I could just show up and then just pass the test. But like here, it's like every day I have to work. Like what? This is crazy, bro. And then what's even more disgusting, bro, I pay rent. Right? I know, shock. I pay rent. And it's like you look at your account before you pay rent and you look at your account after you pay rent. You're like, what did I spend this money on? And you look around, it's like, damn, this is what I spent my money on. Like I be finding shit to do in my apartment now. Like I'm like, I paid for this space. Like I be cleaning the fuck out of my apartment, not because it's dirty, but just because I'm like, I need to see every corner of this apartment. Like I be in the like looking at the closets and the nooks and crannies of this. I'm like, oh, this is a nice cabinet. Like I just be appreciating shit because I paid for it. Like every month I gotta find a new reason for me to drop that bread on this place. It's an interesting experience. I mean, people always just telling me Hollywood was like so crazy, so bad. I feel like as somebody who minds my business, the shit don't really affect me. I just be in my own little world. My neighbors are nosy, but I give them nothing. And I feel like I'm a ghost of my apartment complex. Like they don't ever, like I leave early in the morning to go to work. I be gone late for comedy shows. Like they don't even really see me ever. And then the lady, she tried to say something to me, like one of my neighbors, and she's like, oh, Anya, how are you doing? I'm like, I'm good. She's like, oh, like I never see you. I'm like, yep. And I went in my apartment. That's the end of the conversation. I have nothing else to tell you. I don't pay for that conversation. I pay for that place that I'm going into. I got to go get in there because I just got off work. I got to get in the space to be there with hours I'm not on work. Like being out of your apartment, what you pay for, like people be talking about going on trips and shit. That's low-key dead for me right now. Like my trip is when I go home. That's my trip, bro. Like I got a green screen. I can go anywhere. All right, I can go anywhere if I believe. You feel me? what the fuck? I don't need to leave anymore. Fried, dog. I know, like y'all talking about girlfriends and wives and shit. Lee, I'm gonna advise you from my perspective, as somebody who's young and seeing what the field is like right now as a single man. Stay with shorty. Stay with shorty, bro. Stay with shorty, bro. The dating pool is cooked, bro. It's cooked, and unless you really get into the chicken, it's cooked, bro. It's cooked. I used to be active on dating apps, and in my singledom, on occasion, I'll get on that John and just see what it's hitting for. You feel me? And first of all, paywalls are real. If you're on Hinge regular, pay the bread. Pay the bread for at least 1 month. You see a totally different collection of women that were not available to you. It's like, dog, even on the app alone, you got to have bread to see these women. And then when you see these women that you pay the bread for, what they want is completely different. Like, these women have no fear. No fear. Like serial killers having their way with these women. One girl, they said, what's your ideal first date? She said, buying me a plane ticket and sending me the itinerary. For a stranger? Ma'am, rule number 1 of kids, do not talk to strangers. But not only talking, you going on trips with them? Sending you the itinerary, so you trusting that that's the real, like you gonna get on a plane with a stranger? Come on, man. I need more. What's your love language? Shopping, buying me nice things. Swipe left immediately. I have nothing for you. You know what I shop for? My apartment. That's what I shopped for. That's where my money is. All right? Like, girl, it's like the love is cooked, bro. It's cooked right now. I'm sorry. Like my parents have been married my whole life, and like before I was born, and you know, over 25 years. They've been married for hella long, and so that's what I've seen growing up. Like I've seen like a stable, like supportive, like 1-on-1 marriage. Like, you know, you need this, I got you. You need this, I got you. And I think that's how relationships should be. God forbid you ask a girl for a pencil on these dating apps, my nigga. They will flame you. You'll get screenshotted, put on the Instagram. I won't believe it. He took me out and he made me pay for one drink before he got there. Huh? What? I seen a girl complaining about that. I was like, he made you pay for a drink before he got there? How he's going to pay for the drink? He could have Venmo'd me. He could have Cash App'd me. Girl, he didn't even have your number. You talked to him on the app. Like, what do we... It's cooked, y'all. It's cooked. You know, Bumble was like a big thing for a minute because they had that whole thing. It was like girls have to message first. That was their whole thing. And crazy enough, Bumble ended up getting sued for that. I don't even remember. They had a whole lawsuit. I know because I got bread out of it. I wasn't complaining, but I seen the lawsuit. I said, throw my name on the list. And they threw me like $200-something one random day. Yeah, because a lot of people didn't sign up. Basically, the women had to message first, and the women was like, that's not fair. The men should message us first, too, sometimes. And I'm like, girl, this is the only place that happens. Like, this is the only place that this is happening. It's like somebody going in the bar, like, we should have unalcoholic drinks sometimes, like some non-alcoholic beverages. It's like everywhere else, man. Like, this is the only place to get this here. Like, this is... Like, why are you in the bar complaining that they ain't Sprite available? Like, go to around the corner to 7-Eleven and get you some Sprite. Like, every other dating app, you can get that. But shorties complained, and they sued and won. Women are powerful. Stay with her. I promise. It's dangerous, bro. It's dangerous, bro. I mean, and also, it's as I get older, I'm pushing, like, 28 now. Oh, my God. I know, you guys, the shock in the room. I know. Grandpa, I know. I'm getting to that age where, like, a lot more people have reproduced already. And that's crazy. I had a homie that got a kid, and his kid's at the age that his kid's starting to, like, do things by itself, you know, like swimming and doing sports and such. And I'm like, that's so interesting, bro. Like, I can't believe that you created that, bro. And he told me something that I was like, no, that's what I would do too. That's what I would be thinking. He was like, sometimes I look at my son, and it's like, you think it's about to be a sweet moment. Everyone's like listening in. It's like a group of us. He's like, I look at my son, I just think, man, like, damn, this nigga used to be in my balls. I'm like, what would you say that for? Why do you think about your balls in this beautiful moment? Like, but I would relate. I feel like that would never leave my mind if I saw something I created. Like, he was in my balls once, man. Like, imagine your kid raises his voice like, I didn't let you out of my balls for this. Like, I would always be in my back pocket. I don't know. I feel like being a Nigerian, the standard for, like, yelling at your kids is high. Like, you gotta, like, really have shit to say. Like, there's a Nigerian saying once. They said, like, instead of just calling your kid dumb or saying he doesn't know something, they say, knowledge is chasing you, but you are fast. Huh? What? It's so poetic. Like, how do you write? I just write that down. Like, anytime I got in trouble, I was just taking notes. I was like, this is great for me and my future generations. Like, I'm going to have my kids on lock. They're going to have so many good lines to say. And then punishments were real different. Like, I feel like African punishments felt like they were as creative as, like, tribal print. I don't know if you've never seen a tribal print, but it's real creative. It's very, like, a lot of things going on. Like, nobody just beats their kids in Nigeria. Like, that's basic. That's level one. Getting beat, you get beat for looking the wrong way. Like, you get beat for anything. You sneeze too loud, you get beat. Like, it's nothing. But they get real creative with they punish. One time, my dad, he made me sit in, like, push-up position, but on my elbows. But before he did it, he sprinkled rice on the ground. And I'm like, dog, what? He's like, just sit, go down now, just hold it. I'm like, all right, so I'm holding it. First, I was cool. But then each individual rice personally was taking offense with my arm. Like, how do you think it is? Like, at what point in life where you fall on rice, like, this would be good for my son. Write these down. Like, how did you think of this shit? Like, it's crazy. There's so many creative. There's one that they used to do. This one was when I used to talk back in school. He's like, oh, you like to talk, eh? You like to talk. Hold this dictionary. You hold a dictionary, and you stand there in a squat. You hold the dictionary. First 2-3 minutes, you cool. But then it's almost like your parents forget about you. And the dictionary, it's just like, you ever see My 600-Pound Life, and they show the photos of before they got 600 pounds, and they're just growing and growing. It's like, you're seeing the dictionary, it looks the same, but it's growing and growing and growing. You're like, what is your whole body starts shutting down. Like, how do you think of this shit? Why is this on your mind when you see me? It's very interesting stuff going on. But I'm not gonna hold y'all too long because I got off work, went to the gym. I'm cooked personally. My day has been long and my weekend was even longer. So thank you guys so much for the time. Make sure I pull up to the Haha. Oh no, I'm at the Comedy Chateau, which is across the street from the Haha. I'm doing a show at 7:30. It might be packed out, but if you can get a ticket, grab one. It's finna be turned. Kanye West is ONYEWST. Type it with the kid. Adios. Body here, real life, real cute. Mark's coming back to the stage.
Yeah, we're gonna close out tonight, but I have to tell Anya, I know where your parents got those punishments from. Missionaries. Because they sound awfully like stories I heard about Catholic school. Now, the rice is a story I heard about Puerto Ricans. They always used to make the girls kneel in the rice, and I heard Billy Ramirez here go, oh, when it came to the rice. He knows all about that. These are tortures that have been handed down, taught by the church. For Ordre de Fe, Inquisition, all those things. Anyhow, this is the LA School of Comedy. We are non-denominational insulters. All right? Here, like Colbert used to be. You know, funny. All right, let's announce our things. We have the Right Club, right? Coming up, the Right Club will be back. Everybody should deal with the Right Club. We have Aaron's comedy. Excuse me, my bad. We have Aaron's acting classes, and we have Sunda's comedy classes. This is the LA School of Comedy, 10835 Santa Monica Boulevard. If people tell you are funny, maybe you are. My wife was telling me for years I'm funny and stuck me up here when she's not around. Anyhow, thank you all. Yeah. Oh.